Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Abhishek Mukhopadhyay with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses plenary session of Shanghai Cooperation Organization meeting at Dushanbe, Tajikistan, asks member states to fight against increasing radicalization, which is the root cause of problem before SCO. Prime Minister says India's investment in Iran's Chabahar port and its attempts in international North-South corridor testifies New Delhi's commitment to improve connectivity with Central Asia. Prime Minister turns 71 today. Greetings pour in from different parts of the globe. President Ramnath Kovind says Himachal Pradesh sets a new dimension of development in various fields, addresses Legislative Assembly in Shimla to mark the Golden Jubilee of statehood. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman chairs 45th meeting of the GST Council in Lucknow. More than 77 crore 24 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses administered in the country so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. Recovery rate stands at 97.65%. Heavy rain lashes Uttar Pradesh. Government orders closure of educational institutions today and tomorrow. 6 districts put on flood alert in Odisha. Many rivers including Mahanadi are in spate due to heavy rainfall across the state. And Hyderabad Liberation Day is being observed today to mark the historic accession of the princely state into India. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is underway, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also help others get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said the root cause of problems facing the Shanghai Cooperation Organization region is increasing radicalization. He said recent developments in Afghanistan have made challenges posed by radicalization more clear. Addressing the plenary session of the 21st meeting of SCO Council of Heads of State through video conferencing, Mr. Modi said the biggest challenges in the region are related to peace, security and trust deficit. He said the fight against radicalization is not only needed for regional security and trust, but also to ensure a bright future for the youth.
SCO की 20वीं वर्षगांठ इस संस्था के भविष्य के बारे में सोचने के लिए भी उपयुक्त अवसर है। मेरा मानना है कि इस क्षेत्र में सबसे बड़ी चुनौतियां शांति, सुरक्षा और ट्रस्ट डेफिसिट से संबंधित है और इन समस्याओं का मूल कारण बढ़ता हुआ रेडिकलाइजेशन है। अफगानिस्तान में हाल के घटनाक्रम ने इस चुनौती को और स्पष्ट कर दिया। इस मुद्दे पर SCO को पहल लेकर कार्य करना चाहिए।
The Prime Minister said SCO should work to develop strong network among the moderate, tolerant, inclusive institutions and traditions associated with Islam. Mr. Modi said traditions like Sufism flourished there over the centuries and spread throughout the region and the world. He said it is still reflected in the cultural heritage of this region.
भारत में और SCO के लगभग सभी देशों में इस्लाम से जुड़ी मॉडरेट, टॉलरेंट और इंक्लूसिव संस्थाएं और परंपराएं हैं। SCO को इनके बीच एक मजबूत नेटवर्क विकसित करने के लिए काम करना चाहिए। इस संदर्भ में मैं SCO के रैट्स मैकेनिज्म द्वारा किए जा रहे उपयोगी कार्य की प्रशंसा करता हूं। भारत ने SCO रैट्स की अपनी अध्यक्षता के दौरान जो कैलेंडर ऑफ एक्टिविटीज प्रस्तावित की है, उन पर हमें सभी SCO पार्टनर्स के सक्रिय सहयोग की अपेक्षा है।
The Prime Minister said New Delhi is committed to improve its connectivity with the Central Asia as it believes that landlocked Central Asian countries can benefit by connecting to Indian markets. He said India's investment in Iran's Chabahar port and its attempts in international North-South corridor support this. Mr. Modi said no attempts of connectivity can be a one-way street. He said to ensure this, such projects need to be consultative, transparent and participative, and there should be respect for the territorial integrity of all countries. Mr. Modi said SCO member states must encourage the talented youngsters towards science and rational thinking. He said the countries can bring the startups and entrepreneurs together to make the innovative spirit. The Prime Minister said with the same thinking, India organized the first SCO Startup Forum and SCO Young Scientist Conclave last year.
रेडिकलाइजेशन से लड़ाई क्षेत्रीय सुरक्षा और आपसी ट्रस्ट के लिए तो आवश्यक है ही। यह हमारी युवा पीढ़ियों के उज्जवल भविष्य के लिए भी जरूरी है। विकसित विश्व के साथ प्रतिस्पर्धा के लिए हमारे क्षेत्र को उभरती टेक्नोलॉजी में स्टेक होल्डर बनना होगा। इसके लिए हमें अपने प्रतिभाशाली युवाओं को विज्ञान और रेशनल थिंकिंग की ओर प्रोत्साहित करना होगा। हम अपने एंटरप्रेन्योर्स और स्टार्टअप्स को एक दूसरे से जोड़कर इस तरह की सोच, इस तरह की इनोवेटिव स्पिरिट को बढ़ावा दे सकते हैं। इसी
The Prime Minister said this year is the 20th anniversary of SCO, and on this occasion he welcomed Iran as a new member country of the SCO. He also welcomed the 3 new dialogue partners, Saudi Arabia, Egypt and Qatar. At Dushanbe, India is being represented by External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. This is the first SCO summit being held in a hybrid format and the 4th summit that India is participating in as a full-fledged member. At the summit, the leaders are expected to review the organization's activities over the past 2 decades and discuss the state and prospects of future cooperation. Topical issues of regional and international importance are also expected to be discussed.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will participate in the first in-person Quad Leader Summit in Washington on the 24th of this month. Briefing media in New Delhi last evening, External Affairs Ministry spokesman Arindam Bagchi said, while in Washington, the Prime Minister will also have bilateral meeting with US President Joe Biden. Prime Minister Narendra Modi turns 71 today. It is also an occasion to celebrate the Prime Minister's 2 decades of service and dedication for good governance as Chief Minister and Prime Minister. During these 20 years, Prime Minister Modi left his indelible mark on the life of crores of people through his relentless efforts to address the fundamental problems facing the poor. All India Radio will present Prime Minister Modi's contribution to various sectors in the coming days. The day marks the journey of the man hailing from Varnagar in Gujarat with very humble background, who has evolved into a great persona that he is today through his dedication and hard work. President Ramnath Kovind, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and Home Minister Amit Shah have greeted Prime Minister Narendra Modi on his birthday today. In a tweet, the President wished him good health and said, with a long life, he will continue to serve the nation with the spirit of Aharnish Seva Mahe in service day and night.
BJP President JP Nadda today launched Seva aur Samarpan Abhiyan at party headquarters in New Delhi to mark Prime Minister Narendra Modi's birthday. He also inaugurated an exhibition and a blood donation camp on the occasion. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur has greeted Prime Minister Narendra Modi on his birthday. In a tweet, Mr. Thakur said Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership has brought an action-oriented approach to governance, targets with timelines, along with transparency in policy making, transforming livelihoods and impacting lives. He said a confident and aspirational India rises.
Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar today launched a mega COVID vaccination drive to vaccinate 30 lakh people across the state today on the occasion of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's birthday. Health Minister Mangal Pandey said 14,000 vaccination centers have been set up across the state for the purpose. In a special series, Jan Jan Ki Baat, we shall bring out the quotes from the Prime Minister Narendra Modi on various initiatives and ideas that have changed India over the past 20 years. Water delivery in the home through tap connections is an aspiration for women. It brings safety and security to women and girls. It improves ease of living and ensures better quality of life. With these aspirational goals in mind, Prime Minister launched Jal Jeevan Mission on the 73rd Independence Day, that is 15th August 2019, from the ramparts of the Red Fort.
आजादी के 70 साल हो गए। बहुत सारे काम सब सरकारों ने अपने अपने तरीके से किए। सरकार किसी भी दल की क्यों न हो, केंद्र की हो, राज्य की हो, हर किसी ने अपने अपने तरीके से प्रयास किए। लेकिन ये भी सच्चाई है कि आज हिंदुस्तान में करीब करीब आधे घर ऐसे हैं जिन घरों में पीने का पानी उपलब्ध नहीं है। उनको पीने का पानी प्राप्त करने के लिए मशक्कत करनी पड़ी। माताओं बहनों को सर पे बोझ उठा करके, मटके लेकर के 2-2, 3-3, 5-5 किलोमीटर जाना पड़ता है। जीवन का बहुत सारा हिस्सा सिर्फ पानी में खप जाता है और इसलिए हमने इस सरकार ने एक विशेष काम की तरफ बल देने का निर्णय किया है और वो है हमारे हर घर में जल कैसे पहुंचे, हर घर को जल कैसे मिले, पीने का शुद्ध पानी कैसे मिले। और इसलिए आज मैं लाल किले से घोषित करता हूं कि हम आने वाले दिनों में जल जीवन मिशन को लेकर के आगे बढ़ेंगे। ये जल जीवन मिशन, इसके लिए करीब केंद्र और राज्य साथ मिलकर के काम करेंगे और आने वाले वर्षों में 3.5 लाख करोड़ रुपए से भी ज्यादा रकम इस जल जीवन मिशन के लिए खर्च करने का हमने संकल्प किया।
More than 77 crore 24 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses have been administered in the country so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. The Health Ministry in a statement said the country reported over 34,000 new cases of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. The country's active caseload is currently at 3,39,056. The active cases constitute 1.02% of the total reported cases so far. The Health Ministry today said more than 77 crore 77 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been provided to states and union territories so far through the union government's free of cost channel and through direct state procurement category. In Assam, mega vaccination camp for protection against COVID-19 is on across the state today. The Assam government aims to vaccinate around 8 lakh people during the mega vaccination camp. Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma visited a vaccination camp in Guwahati. All the Guardian ministers, along with senior officials, also visited the vaccination site to motivate people for vaccination. Health Department officials said that vaccination is being administered today in pre-designated spots. Assam has administered over 2 crore vaccinations so far. The Health Department said all the eligible persons are likely to get the first dose of vaccination by the 10th of next month.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses plenary session of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization meeting at Dushanbe, Tajikistan, asked member states to fight against increasing radicalization, which is the root cause of problem before SCO. Prime Minister says India's investment in Iran's Chabahar port and its attempts in international North-South corridor testifies New Delhi's commitment to improve connectivity with the Central Asia. Prime Minister turned 71 today. Greetings pour in from different parts of the globe. President Ramnath Kovind says that Himachal Pradesh sets a new dimension of development in various fields, addresses Legislative Assembly in Shimla to mark the Golden Jubilee of statehood. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman chairs 45th meeting of the GST Council in Lucknow. More than 77 crore 24 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses administered in the country so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. Recovery rate stands at 97.65%. Heavy rain lashes Uttar Pradesh. Government orders closure of educational institutions today and tomorrow. 6 districts put on flood alert in Odisha. Many rivers, including Mahanadi, are in spate due to heavy rainfall across the state. And Hyderabad Liberation Day has been observed today to mark the historic accession of the princely state into India. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे।
स्वाधीनता आंदोलन के दौरान भारतीय जनमानस को उत्प्रेरित कर स्वतंत्रता का अलख जगाने और मातृभूमि के प्रति सेवा, समर्पण और त्याग की ज्वाला प्रज्वलित कर देने वाले अमर गीतों पर आधारित विशेष कार्यक्रम आजादी के तराने सुनना न भूलें। FM गोल्ड 100.1 मेगाहर्ट्ज पर प्रत्येक शुक्रवार शाम 4:45 पर परिक्रमा कार्यक्रम के अंतर्गत आजादी के तराने सिर्फ आकाशवाणी पर।
Welcome back to the Midday News. President Ramnath Kovind has said the initiative taken by the Himachal Pradesh government to take the development journey of the state to the people is highly commendable. He said Himachal Pradesh has set new dimensions of development in various fields. The President was addressing the special session of the Himachal Legislative Assembly being organized to mark the Golden Jubilee of the statehood in Shimla today. He appreciated all the Corona warriors of Himachal Pradesh for being first in the country to set a record 100% first dose of COVID vaccination to its people in the state.
कोविड महामारी का सामना करने में हिमाचल प्रदेश ने देश में सबसे पहले वैक्सीन की पहली डोज 100% आबादी को लगाने का कीर्तिमान स्थापित किया है। प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी द्वारा दिए गए साधुवाद को मैं अक्षरशः साझा करना चाहूंगा, जिसमें उन्होंने कहा है कि हिमाचल प्रदेश इस महामारी के विरुद्ध लड़ाई में चैंपियन बनकर सामने आया है। इसके लिए हिमाचल प्रदेश के सभी कोरोना वॉरियर्स की मैं सराहना करता हूं।
The 45th meeting of the Goods and Services Tax GST Council is going on in Lucknow today. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman is chairing the meeting, in which finance ministers from all states and many senior officers are present. The council will announce its decisions in the evening. Our correspondent has filed this report.
First time any GST Council meeting is taking place in state capital Lucknow. This is also the first physical meet of the GST Council following the outbreak of the COVID pandemic. This is 45th meeting of the GST Council, and in the last 44th meeting, Council had taken many decisions which helped common people. At its last meeting in June, the Council had waived the indirect tax levied on 2 critical drugs and reset the tax rate to 5% on many COVID essentials. It also continued the tax rates of 5% for COVID vaccines. The Council, chaired by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, today is expected to continue the pro-people decisions in its meet. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
Hyderabad Liberation Day is being celebrated today to mark the historic accession of the princely state of Hyderabad into the Indian Union. Operation Polo, as the famous police action was codenamed, brought down the curtains on an oppressive Nizam's rule on this day in 1948. Telangana state is celebrating the Hyderabad Accession Day today across the state to mark the accession of Hyderabad princely state in the Indian Union 13 months after India achieved its independence on this day in 1948. The last Nizam, Mir Usman Ali Khan, announced ceasefire and agreed for accession in India when the Indian Army took Operation Polo. Home Minister Amit Shah today greeted the people of Telangana and Marathwada region on Hyderabad Liberation Day. In a tweet, Mr. Shah said, on this historic day, he bows to the brave martyrs who fought against the cruelties of Razakars and Nizams. He said the nation will always remain indebted for their supreme sacrifices.
As the nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events have been organized by the government as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Let's listen now to a special program, Azadi Ka Safar.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
Today we bring you a profile of the great freedom fighter and social activist E.V. Ramasamy, popularly known as Periyar. He was born on 17 September 1879 in Erode in the erstwhile Madras Presidency. Periyar was a rationalist, prolific writer and orator who could communicate with all sections of society effectively. He mobilized people from all walks of life to fight against the British.
In 1919, he joined the Congress under the influence of his close friend C. Rajagopalachari. He was jailed for participating in the non-cooperation movement. Periyar resigned from all the 29 public positions held by him in order to join the freedom movement. He also gave up the family trade and closed the business concern which was earning 20,000 rupees annually in those days when the price of a single gold sovereign was not even 10 rupees. Periyar rigorously fought for issues related to khadi. Periyar wore khadi clothes himself and encouraged his family to wear as well. He was given a jail sentence for his propagation for khadi and boycott of British goods. Periyar admired Bhagat Singh's political views. Hailing the sacrifice of Bhagat Singh through an editorial in his journal Kudiyarasu on March 29, 1931, he wrote that Bhagat Singh gave his life for the noble cause of showing to India, nay, to the world, the real equality and peace.
Periyar fought for the progress of women and questioned gender inequality prevalent in society. He also fought against child marriage and advocated widow remarriage.
உங்களை காப்பாற்றிக்க உங்களுக்கு சக்தி வேணும். இன்னொருத்தன் வீட்டுல போட்டு பூட்டுறது போல அடிமைத்தனம் வேற இல்லை. அந்த காரணத்தினாலே தான் பொம்பளைகளுக்கு இவ்வளவு கெட்ட பேர் எல்லாம் வர்றதுக்கு ஏற்பட்டது. நம்ம நாடு என்னைக்கு பெண்கள் நிலைமை உயர்ந்தோ அன்னைக்கு தான் ஆம்பளைக்கு என்ன கேடு, அவன் எப்படியோ போறான், அதை பத்தி நமக்கு என்ன கவலை.
He encouraged women to actively take part in social movements and politics. He passed away at the age of 97. Periyar tirelessly worked for women's education and raised the issue of 50% reservation for them in all sectors. A staunch believer in gender equality, Periyar is also known as the father of Dravidian movement.
It was on this day in 1940 a great freedom fighter and social reformer, Vinoba Bhave, offered to be the first individual satyagrahi of India's freedom movement. Gandhiji had decided to launch individual satyagraha by which select individuals were to declare publicly that it was wrong to help the British during the Second World War. As a matter of fact, the then Viceroy Linlithgow, without consulting the elected provincial governments of India, declared India at war with Germany on 3rd September 1939. The Indian National Congress objected to it very strongly. Gandhiji was of the opinion that the only worthy effort was to resist the war non-violently. It was left to him to choose the satyagrahis. Vinoba Bhave was the first to offer satyagraha on 17 September 1940 at Wardha. As a consequence of his individual satyagraha, he was jailed thrice during 1940 to 41.
In 1958, Bhave received the first Ramon Magsaysay Award for Community Leadership for his dedication for the propagation of a new kind of social revolution in India. In 1982, Bhave fell extremely ill and stopped taking food and medicines. He died on 15th November 1982. A year later, he was honored with India's highest civilian award, the Bharat Ratna.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
Marathwada Mukti Din has been celebrated in the districts of Marathwada region in Maharashtra. Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray visited Aurangabad and paid tributes to the martyrs of Marathwada Liberation movement who had sacrificed their lives to free the Marathwada region of Maharashtra from the clutches of Nizam. Mr. Thackeray made various announcements for the development of the region along with the establishment of Sant Peeth at Aurangabad. More from a correspondent.
Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray has said that the Sant Peeth, which will be established in Marathwada, should become a university where the teachings of great saints of Maharashtra will be imparted and it should spread in the world. On the occasion of Marathwada Mukti Din, he announced the redevelopment of 150 Nizam era schools. He also announced various development projects including Usmanabad Medical College, Parbhani Water Supply Project, Turmeric Processing Unit at Hingoli. Rich tributes were paid to the martyrs through various other programs organized in Nanded flooded Parbhani, Jalna, Hingoli, Beed districts in Maharashtra. Shailesh Patil, AR News, Mumbai.
Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has appealed to the people of the state to remain cautious in the wake of the heavy rains. Chief Minister has directed all district magistrates and commissioners to intensify the rescue and relief operation and instructed them to take stock of the damage in the fields due to rain. Many parts of Uttar Pradesh are experiencing heavy rains for the last 36 hours. Normal life has been thrown out of gear due to the incessant rain. Our Lucknow correspondent reports that educational institutions in the state are closed for today and tomorrow. Road, rail and air traffic are also affected due to heavy rain. The Odisha government has put 6 districts on alert apprehending a low to medium flood in the Mahanadi river system. Many of the rivers, including the Mahanadi, are in spate due to the recent depression induced heavy rainfall across the state.
Now let us take a look at the weather update for today. National capital Delhi will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. The city recorded 24 degrees Celsius as minimum temperature, while maximum will be around 30 degrees. Mumbai will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain. Minimum and maximum temperature hovered between 26 and 31 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Minimum temperature in this city was 27 degrees. Maximum will be around 33. Chennai is likely to have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Temperature will vary between 28 and 36 degrees. Hyderabad is expected to have generally cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Minimum temperature was 23 degrees. Maximum may go up to 32. Bengaluru is also expected to have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Temperature will hover between 21 and 29 degrees. Jammu is expected to have mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Maximum temperature will be around 34 degrees, while it recorded 24 degrees Celsius as minimum. Srinagar may witness mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Minimum temperature was 16 degrees, while maximum is expected around 30 degrees. Leh will have partly cloudy sky. Minimum temperature was 9. Maximum will be around 24. Gilgit is likely to witness partly cloudy sky. Maximum temperature may rise up to 35 degrees. It noted a lower limit of 13 degrees. Muzaffarabad is likely to witness mainly clear sky. Temperature will hover between 20 and 37 degrees. Guwahati may have generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. Minimum temperature was 26, while maximum will be around 34. Imphal is likely to have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Minimum temperature was recorded at 20. Maximum will be around 28. Shillong may have generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. Temperature will move from minimum of 16 to maximum of 26. Aizawl is predicted to have a generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Minimum temperature was 19 degrees. Maximum will be nearly 26. Kohima may have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Temperature will rise from minimum of 16 to maximum of 24. Itanagar is likely to have a generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. Temperature will move from 20 degrees Celsius to an upper limit of 28 degrees. Gangtok may have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Temperature hovers between 17 and 22 degrees. Agartala will have a generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. It recorded minimum temperature of 26 degrees and will move up to 33 degrees as maximum. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses plenary session of Shanghai Cooperation Organization meeting at Dushanbe, Tajikistan. Asks member states to fight against increasing radicalization, which is the root cause of problem, before the SCO. Prime Minister says India's investment in Iran's Chabahar port and its attempts in international North-South corridor testifies New Delhi's commitment to improve connectivity with Central Asia. Prime Minister turns 71 today. Greetings pour in from different parts of the globe. President Ramnath Kovind says Himachal Pradesh sets a new dimension of development in various fields, addresses Legislative Assembly in Shimla to mark the Golden Jubilee of statehood. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman chairs 45th meeting of GST Council in Lucknow. More than 77 crore 24 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses administered in the country so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. Recovery rate at 97.65%. Heavy rain lashes Uttar Pradesh. Government orders closure of educational institutions today and tomorrow. 6 districts put on flood alert in Odisha. Many rivers, including Mahanadi, are in spate due to heavy rainfall across the state. And with that, we end the midday news.